Hey guys, you're welcome to Niger Just Pipeline. So guys, you've seen Juma since he is still in China as we speak, and a lot of businesses going on underground, cooking up with his manager. So guys, moving forward, I posted a video few hours ago and I told you that Priscilla will be going live with a Canadian immigration officer. They'll be speaking on how and everything you need to know if you want your child, or as a person, if you want your child or yourself to travel to Canada. Guys, this video is for you. Or if you just want to see Priscilla's beautiful face because it's been long, she came on live in this internet streets. Do well to watch this interesting video to the very end. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel.
Hi, it's Priscilla. Mama, I will take you to my city. We go ride, with the chicken and the roll, baby. When the roll. Wow!
Hi, how you
My
doing?
goodness. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. How
I'll
you
give you
doing? I'm
another
so
one.
happy
You're
to,
my
be here.
chain. You're my everything. So we are with you in this journey together, honestly. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm happy to also have this opportunity to also share, with the fans and the people. So, before we start, I'll also introduce myself to your followers as well. So, before you
Okay.
start everything, yes, my name is Priscilla Mkambala. I'm an influencer, business mogul, entrepreneur, and a realtor, and also a graduate from Babcock University. So before we go on with the questions, I like to also talk about like the importance of education. So I would say education empowers critical thinking, emotional like intelligence, decision making, and it is very important for like a lot of people. And it's good to because it makes you stand out from the rest. So before we begin, can you also tell us about yourself?
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to tell you something that I shared with someone regarding you before we move forward. So we are talking
Okay.
about the Gen Z and how they can impact their younger ones. So I now said,
Yeah.
okay, if you can go back to Priscilla, I think she will be a good role model to the young ones coming up. Because when I was
Mm.
listening to what she said, remember that caption where he said, and I met my quite in the line of duty, you know. Okay.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
made reference to that to her. So she went back and watched the video and she came back and
Yeah.
said, oh, Nikki, I love that aspect of her,
Yes.
that kind of a thing. So, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. So my name
Yeah.
is Ifi Tony Osondo and I'm a licensed Canadian immigration consultant in good standing.
Yeah.
So what I mean in good standing is that when I am regulated by the government of Canada to provide immigration advisory services to anyone who wants to come to Canada, either to visit, to
Mm.
work, to school, or to live permanently. So I
Yeah.
attended after my master's degree in Nigeria, when upon arrival in Canada, I also went back to the University of Regina for a 4 year bachelor's degree in social work. So I am a registered social worker of Saskatchewan as well, and I
Mm.
graduated with an Academic Silver Prize Award. Thereafter,
Wow.
I proceeded to Queen's
Wow.
University
Wow.
in Ontario for Immigration and Citizenship Law. And thereafter, I have posted my results, so they can see it there. So
Yeah.
thereafter, I shall name the entry to practice examination of the regulated Canadian immigration consultants, and I passed successfully, and I received a letter of authority to provide immigration advisory services to anyone who wants to come to Canada. Then there is the immigration aspect of it. I am also an educational consultant with the University of Regina, Saskatchewan Polytechnic, Lethbridge University in Alberta, University of New Brunswick, and Luther College High School. something I say that I am very passionate about, and I
Yeah.
enjoy what I am doing regarding that. Well, for my social work aspect, I am not really practicing that, but at the same time, I
Okay.
use the social work roles and the social work models that I gathered. I use that in affecting my immediate community by trying to bring
Mm,
out programs and services that we have to do so as to keep body and soul together. So I used to post some of the activities that we usually do there in on my page. So early
yeah.
this year, I also proceeded to Nigeria, whereby I
Mm,
spoke with a few schools regarding abuse and how to stop abuse using the I stop statement. I also was
mm,
privileged to went to Green Springs Green Spring services in
yeah.
I think the one at Anthony Village, yes, the one at Anthony.
Yeah.
So I was able to meet with their students, and that was a few days before they celebrated their 40 years milestone. And I also was privileged to meet with about 10 Catholic colleges. They came in consortium, like Holy Child College, St. Gregory, St. Finbarr, St.
Mm.
Thomas Aquinas, Marywood College, some of them, and another one, Laura International, in Pestaton. So
Really
the
an
ones
all
I was
rounder.
not,
All
yeah, so the ones I was not able
rounder.
to
Keep
meet,
going, Queen. Yes.
the ones I was not able to meet, so I told them that during my next visit, I will touch base
Yes.
with that. Yeah. So that is pretty much about me.
Wow. 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 Excellent, mom. Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
so before we start like with the main questions, you guys after we're done, we're gonna also take questions from you guys as well. But let's start. Okay, so can you tell us about some programs one can pursue in Canada? Like,
All
some
right.
programs
Thank
that you
you.
can pursue. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just want to let people know that undergraduate degree, that's at the bachelor's level, is not
Yeah.
really what you can do in Canada. So what I usually advise parents before they embark on this mission, they should always know that
Yeah.
this is an expensive ride. Do you understand? So what they
Mm-hmm.
have to do is to live within their budget. So if you want to train a
Mm,
child in Canada, first of all, you ask yourself, can I afford this? What can I
mm.
afford? How will I
Financial
make do with what I
stability.
can afford?
Yeah.
You understand? How will I make do with what I can afford? So, and
Right.
there's this mentality that we have also back home that polytechnic, they are not institution. No, it's not like that here. So what
Mm,
I encourage some, if you can afford 1 year certificate course, go for it. If you can
mm.
afford 4 years bachelor's, go for it.
Go
If you
for
can
it.
also afford 2 years diploma, go for it. If you can afford to do masters, go for it. And
Go
if you
for
can
it.
afford PhD, go for it. So there is
Yeah.
something for everyone. There's some programs you can also do. 8 months program, 1 year program, 2 years for depending on what you can afford. That is it.
Afford. Okay. Wow, that's excellent. So the next question is like, let's say I'm the one now, I just finished high school and I want to gain like admission in Canada. What are the chances? What are my chances?
Okay, so if you are like said like 16 years old, first
Yeah,
of
like
all, what we
16.
have to look at is to know the very first thing we have to advise parents is, do you
Yeah.
know anybody in Canada, any close family in Canada? Because we are looking at the aspect of getting a custodian for you or a guardian,
Mm,
because this is still
mm.
a minor. Maybe
Yeah.
this is a child the driver takes to school
Yeah.
every morning and brings back in the
Yeah.
evening. And now
Mm.
you are about to send this child away from family and friends
Away
in
from
a
home.
faraway country, right? So the very first
Yeah.
thing we advise is, do you have any family member or friends or anyone who can
Mm.
look after this child? If you say yes,
Right.
you know a child there, you know if somebody will start looking for schools in that particular in that particular province,
Area.
so that
Mm.
you will not have issue looking for a custodian, because a child less than 17 years old requires a custodian in Canada. Do you understand?
Right.
A child of 17 years old, a child that is not up to 18 requires a
18, up to the
custodian in
legal
Canada.
age.
So
Still need,
yeah,
yeah, you
so
still
if
need a
you don't
guardian.
really, yeah, so if you don't
Uh,
really have that in place, if you don't have any
mm,
family member, this and that, they will now say, okay, no problems. These are the schools we will look into, this and that. I
right.
am also an educational consultant with the schools. So if they are coming to any of the schools that I have partnership with, and they are in Canada, in my own province, I can step in as a guardian, right? So before
Yeah.
their arrival, I need to connect. And another thing we usually do, first of all, we will look at the school this child graduated from. Then we will
Mm,
now connect this child with any of our existing schools that have students that graduated from that same
okay.
institution so that
Yeah.
they will give him what we call that connection before
Connection.
arrival,
They will be able to
right?
relate.
So yeah, because
Yeah.
it's really very important, right? Because
Yeah.
you'll be
Very,
so, be
very
so
nice.
excited, you are traveling to go and meet your
Yeah.
people, this, and that.
Yeah.
So, but
In a
if the
new
child does not
country.
have, so that means before you arrive, you must have gotten some students you'll be acquainting with, connecting with. They will tell you this, and that. At least you'll be looking forward to meeting with them. They will also be looking forward to meet you. Sometimes if I'm going to the airport, because we come to the airport to pick you up as a guardian, right? And
Yeah.
then take you to the hostel or wherever you opted to stay. Then those
Yeah.
students will come and meet you. So that's what we usually do. Basically, for a child that is less than 16 years old, it is essential that the parents connect this child to any province where he knows somebody. If you don't know anyone, try to get a good guardian who will
Okay.
see this person very true, because year one is very, very important. If the child
Important.
misses it up in the year one, it's sometimes very difficult to fix it.
Right. Thank you so much for that. I hope you guys are listening. And after all this session, you could also ask your questions. So let's go to the next question. So, as a grade 12 student who are currently waiting for WAEC results, what is the word of advice you can give to the parents who wish to sponsor their children abroad?
Okay, so I already said what I would tell the parents in my first whatever. First,
Yeah,
live within your means, right?
yeah,
The
yeah. You
exchange rate,
mentioned
the
it. Yeah.
exchange rate is not smiling. Live within your
Mm,
means. If it is 1 year that you can afford, let that child look for the 1 year
1 year.
program. Sit down properly, because sometimes some parents will think, yeah, but tell you, oh, I thought the tuition happens to be 500. No, it is not. So what happens
Mm,
in this, and I need them to, and that is why we are creating this awareness, right? So the
yeah,
very first thing they have to look, oh, my child, how bright is this, my child? Can my child
yeah.
carry 5 credit loads? Because there's some
Right.
institution you will get, because for you to study in Canada, no, one thing is that you must be a full-time student. So there are some schools that will tell you that to be a full-time student, you must be doing 15 credit loads. And there are some
Mm,
schools that will tell you to be a full-time student, you must be doing 9 credit loads. So if your
those.
child is not that bright enough to carry 15 credit loads, which is 5 classes, I won't advise you to take this child to that school, because number
Yeah,
one, child will not be progressing in the study because he will be struggling. Do you
yeah.
understand? At the stage you
Right.
hear that,
You won't have the
oh, my
capacity
mental
to take
health,
all that. Yeah.
yeah, my mental health, I need to back out from this, I need to back out from
Yeah.
that. So by the time they come, we usually explain all these things to them. So if your child is the struggling type, take that child to
Mm,
maybe a school of 9 credit loads,
right.
because to study in Canada, you are required to give like 70 or 85% of your own time. It's not almost the lecturer. You have to get prepared for this study.
Yeah,
So
correct.
that's number one thing the parents should look for. What's the
Okay.
meaning of a full-time study in that institution they are going to? Number
Right.
two, they should try to know what is our budget. Can we
Mhm.
afford it?
Yeah, I was
Can we
coming to
put
that
ourselves in
question.
financial?
I was coming
Can
to
we
that
put our
question. So, like, what is
Sorry?
the budget for studying in Canada? Like, cause there are a lot of people that also offer the service. Oh, you want to study abroad? Come to Canada. So, what is like the budget? Would you be honest? Like, okay, this is the budget. Don't waste your time. Don't listen to people. Don't try to disappoint your expectations. So, yeah, that was the next question.
Yeah, so for example, the budget, I'm going to give you a live budget, the correct one.
Okay.
For example, I'll use University of Regina. The the 1 year tuition is usually
Mm.
22,000 Canadian dollars. So in this
Mm.
22,000 Canadian dollars, there is also what they call living expenses that you're supposed to provide. That is for 1 year. The cost of living expenses for 1 year is 20,635. So if you add this 20,635 to the
Not.
22,000, it is 42,635. Then you are also expected to have what they call boarding fee or transportation fee that will take you to and from Canada. Because it's not after
Mm.
giving you admission, you won't have money.
Yeah,
Try.
to transport.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
sometimes parents do not
true.
see that living expenses. Do you understand?
Mm.
So when they want to make application, you find out they will say, oh, 20,000. Or sometimes they'll be looking
Yeah,
at the acceptance fee they ask them to
right.
pay. Some will tell you, oh, I only pay 500 when I was going. I only pay 1,000. Or knowing that they were referring to the acceptance fee. Do you
Wow.
understand? So these are the
Yeah.
arithmetic that the parents should do at home before sending their kids. If you cannot afford it, look for cheaper school. Maybe during master's level, you send them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what expenses is changing from 20,000 to 635. So it's changing. It's going to be 22,000. The exact amount is yeah. Before the program runs out, I'll give you the exact amount.
Wow. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So like I said, I think I mentioned this. There are a lot of people offering this service, and like what is the benefit? What makes you stand out as an educational consultant? Like what makes you stand out from every other person doing something like this, trying to encourage people, trying to get the service? What makes you different?
Okay, so the difference
Why
is
should
that
my
this is
my
something.
fans, why should they use your service? The JPs.
So,
Yeah.
so this is something I